Hi, this is Xiaoqing. Welcome to my Folio 1 video. Let's get started. Week 1 Observation. In response to the theme of observation, I used Procreate to draw some illustrations to show the changes of things. By drawing the present and the past forms of a thing, I showed that we can infer and judge what happened in the past and hear the sound of the past through the current state of things. My inspiration is these water stains on the ground and the windows. I took some photos to show the process of these marks being left. This also reminds me of some historical relics, such as Pompeii. Similar work has been produced by Rachel, whose work House explored this theme by working in a residence and casting the walls with concrete. Through this work, absence becomes presence, interior becomes exterior, and intangible becomes tangible. Week 2 Tinkering. In response to the theme of tinkering, I left some marks on the paper using different tools. By leaving marks on paper by using various objects, I showed that process determines outcome, and the result can also be used to infer the process. Similar work has been produced by Maria, whose work, The Artist is Present, explored this theme by sitting quietly in the art gallery, looking directly at the audience. And the audience will show different reactions. The process of influencing each other between the artist and the audience constitutes this work of art. Week 3 Find Object. In response to the theme of find objects, I have recorded some surfaces using my phone. Most of the time, we would choose to make these surfaces look smooth and flawless because it makes us feel neat and comfortable. However, sometimes we deliberately make the surfaces less flat for special purposes. By discovering these differences in the flatness of the surface, I showed that people's expectations of an object depend on the functions it undertakes. Similar work has been produced by Andy, whose work, Brio Box, explored this theme. We can see that these boxes are almost identical to the commercial packaging, but they are given the responsibility of art, so the value has been increased a lot. Week 4 Discussion of Place. In response to the theme of place, I used some pictures to make some paste up. By placing items where they should not appear, I hope to break people's stereotyped perceptions of logical rules. Similar work has been produced by Dali, whose work, Raining Taxi, explores this theme by making a device with a theme of a taxi in the rain, and the passengers were sea snails. It expresses that the so-called normal is just the illusion of collective. Week 5 Object-Oriented Ontology. In response to the theme of OOO, I shot a video about pressing the switch, but the electric devices will not light up every time. What will happen when I release my fingers? This clip remains the same instead of clamping. Every time I press the button of the desk lamp, it responds differently to me. Sometimes it doesn't respond, sometimes it dims, and sometimes it works normally. If I quietly open the refrigerator door, will the light inside not turn on? I believe this is an experiment that most people have done, but obviously our assumption won't succeed. By testing a seemingly interactive but actually reject feedback device, I showed that there is no connection between human understanding and the object itself. Similar work has been produced by Christian, the clock. He made a 24-hour video, splicing together time, scenes from thousands of film clips, but the actual time is completely synchronized with the time the audience is in. Conclusion. Over the past few weeks of learning, what benefited me the most was the second week theme, tinkering. I used to believe that everything needed a clear goal and perfect planning, otherwise it would be a waste of time. That was until I started experimenting with various tools, scissors, nails, lighters, even water stains, to damage a blank sheet of paper. There were no rules, no standards, just pure trial and error. The result? The same piece of paper transformed into completely different things depending on how it was altered. The process made me realize the true value of tinkering lies not in the outcome, but the act of experimentation itself. It freed me from the anxiety of having to be correct. There were no standard answers, only let's see what happens. It taught me the beauty of accidents. Some of the most interesting marks came from mistakes, like when a dull knife left on the paper was nothing like the smooth cut I had imagined. It proved that the process itself is a form of creation, just like how Maria, by simply sitting in silence, could evoke intense emotions in her audience. What matters isn't just what to do, but the possibilities unlocked in the process. The altered sheets of paper, they are no longer just blank pages, but maps documenting my journey of exploration. Sometimes the most interesting creations might just begin with, why not try messing around and see what happens?